lied, they schemed, they vanished with millions. These aren't stories from fiction, they really happened. Today, we're diving into 4 of the boldest, most unbelievable scams in human history, where charm, greed, and deception collided to shake the world. Scam number 1. Victor Lustig, the man who sold the Eiffel Tower, 1925. Paris, 1925. The Eiffel Tower was already a global icon, a symbol of progress, power, and French pride. But to Victor Lustig, it was something else, the perfect bait for an audacious con. A master of disguise and fluent in 5 languages, Lustig forged official-looking documents and posed as a French government official from the Ministry of Posts and Telegraphs. He invited 5 of the most powerful scrap metal dealers in the city to a secret meeting in a luxury hotel. There, he claimed the government had decided to sell the Eiffel Tower for scrap, citing its high maintenance costs. The catch? The deal had to remain confidential, a matter of national security. One dealer, eager to win the contract and impressed by Lustig's fake credentials, paid a hefty bribe to secure the deal. By the time he realized he'd been duped, Lustig had fled to Austria with the money, and the man was too embarrassed to report the crime. Unbelievably, Lustig later returned to Paris and tried the exact same scam again. Though the second attempt failed, his legend was sealed. He also swindled gangsters, aristocrats, and even Al Capone. Scam number 2. The Great Diamond Hoax. Glitter, lies, and greed, 1872. In 1872, 2 Kentucky cousins, Philip Arnold and John Slack, pulled off a swindle that fooled some of the sharpest minds in American finance. They claimed to have discovered a massive deposit of diamonds, rubies, and sapphires in a remote area of the western frontier. To prove their find, they returned from supposed expeditions with bags full of sparkling gems. But it was all part of a scheme. The 2 men had purchased real, low-quality gems from Europe and secretly salted the land, scattering the stones in the dirt to deceive investors during site inspections. They convinced bankers, tycoons, and even Charles Tiffany, the founder of Tiffany & Co., that they'd found the greatest gemstone deposit in North America. The value of the land skyrocketed. An entire mining company was formed. Millions of dollars changed hands. It wasn't until an independent geologist noticed that the gems came from different continents that the fraud unraveled. By then, Arnold and Slack had cashed out and disappeared. The Great Diamond Hoax is still taught in business schools today as a lesson in due diligence and just how far greed can blind even the smartest minds. Scam number 3. The South Sea Bubble. Britain's first financial meltdown, 1711. Long before modern Wall Street existed, there was the South Sea Company, a British business formed in 1711 with bold promises and royal backing. It vowed to open up lucrative trade routes with South America, offering untold riches to its investors. The hype grew quickly. Government officials endorsed the company. Prominent figures, even King George I, bought shares. The stock price soared more than 800%, turning average people into overnight millionaires. On paper. But the company had a dirty secret. There was no trade. The so-called South Sea trade was almost entirely imaginary. It was one of the earliest speculative bubbles, inflated by rumors, political connections, and blind faith. When the truth came out, the bubble burst. Banks failed. Fortunes were destroyed. Even Isaac Newton lost a significant portion of his wealth and famously said, "I can calculate the motion of heavenly bodies, but not the madness of men." The South Sea bubble triggered economic chaos and led to reforms that still influence financial systems today. Scam number 4. Bernie Madoff, the billion-dollar betrayal. 2008. Bernie Madoff was once one of the most respected men on Wall Street. A former NASDAQ chairman, he ran a private investment firm that promised consistently high returns, no matter the market conditions. The truth? Madoff never invested a single cent. His firm was a house of cards, a massive Ponzi scheme, paying earlier investors with money from newer ones. For years, it worked. No one asked questions because the returns were too good to ignore. But when the 2008 crisis hit, investors tried to withdraw billions. Madoff couldn't cover the payouts, and the fraud was exposed. The damage was catastrophic. $65 billion in fake earnings disappeared overnight. Thousands of investors, including charities, celebrities, and retirees, were left devastated. Madoff was sentenced to 150 years in prison and died behind bars in 2021. His scheme remains the largest Ponzi fraud in history and a dark chapter in the world of finance. Whether it was a forged letter, a salted mine, fake trade routes, or a pyramid of lies, each of these scams succeeded for one reason: they made people believe. They preyed on trust, on ego, on the desire for easy wealth. And in every case, the victims wanted it to be true. Which of these scams shocked you the most? Let us know in the comments. Hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the most mind-blowing stories in history.